A lot of writers will say, I have writer's block, but you don't really have writer's block. You really expect the book not to sell. Are you tracking? I'm unmotivated to make sales presentation. You're not unmotivated to make sales presentation. You believe the people aren't going to buy. This is how anticipation shows up in our lives. Are y'all tracking? Okay. So you don't make the sales call because you believe nobody's going to buy anyway, so you stay home, and now your belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, so, but what if I believe more in the outcome I don't desire? It's going to create the feeling called anxiety. Now, anxiety is the thief of your dreams. What is anxiety? Anxiety is wasting present energy on a future outcome that's undesirable to me. When I waste present energy on a future outcome that's undesirable to me, that's anxiety. Now, here's the problem. Most people think they have fear when they actually have anxiety. And there is a difference in fear and anxiety, but they feel the exact same. Oh, snap. What just happened? What's the difference between fear and anxiety? The difference is fear is caution over a real and present danger. So in order for you to have fear, there has to be a real and present danger. If there is no real and present danger, there can be no fear. I have a fear of failure. There's no such thing as a fear of failure. You have anxiety over failure. I have a fear of success. There's no such thing as fear of success. You have anxiety over success. I have a fear of prospect. You don't have a fear of prospecting. You have anxiety over prospecting. I have a fear of talking to strangers. You don't have a fear of talking to strangers. You have anxiety over talking to strangers. The difference is fear is caution over a real imagined danger. Are y'all tracking? Anxiety is caution over a future imagined danger. So I'm imagining a danger in the future, and I'm reacting to it in my body in the present. And the reaction that I'm having in my body in the present is causing me not to act. So track with me now. So what happens next is the focus in our head creates a feeling in our heart, and the feeling in our heart creates a function in our hands. What's the function? Well, it depends on what the feeling is, right? So if the feeling in my heart is anticipation, the function in my hand is called power. But if the feeling in my heart is anxiety, the function in my hand is called powerlessness. And so now I feel like I can't do anything, so I don't do anything. So you say, Myron, I don't understand what any of this has to do with what you read in the Bible and the law of attraction. Here's what it has to do with. Faith without works is dead. So you believe something, but you don't do anything. Why? Because you don't have the right kind of faith, right? You either have dead faith or demonic faith. Like you could call anxiety would be a manifestation of demonic faith, right? Here's what Jesus said. Take no thought for the morrow, right? But that doesn't mean don't plan for tomorrow. It doesn't mean don't think about tomorrow. What does it mean? Go look it up. It means don't have anxiety over tomorrow. The word take no thought for the morrow is the exact same word, Greek word, that's used in Philippians chapter 4, where it says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. So here's what Jesus said. Take no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself, sufficient unto the day or the evil thereof. Here's what that means. Don't waste today's energy worrying about tomorrow's problems. Like, why? What are you doing? But what if it doesn't work? Do you understand what if it doesn't work is one of the most dangerous questions you can ask? The question, what if it doesn't work, causes you to find the answer that you sought for, which is this is what happens if it doesn't work. So now you're creating this anxiety that's keeping you from taking action. So now you ask the question, what if it doesn't work? And the question, what if it doesn't work, made it not work. Are y'all tracking? So what does that have to do with the law of attraction? Okay, let's color going like this. I'm gonna write it down. Law. By the way, so the Bible doesn't use the phrase law of attraction. Just so you know. And as most people speak about it, it's not biblical because they use it to try to eliminate God. So how most people talk about it, like it's hocus pocus. But the principle that they are attempting to convey, but they're removing the reason that it would work if it did work, is what I'm about to show you. Okay? Because it all has to start with the source. Where's the source? God's the source. The source of what? Everything. Now, so the Bible does not speak about the law of gravity, but the law of gravity is real. The Bible does not speak about the law of momentum, but the law of momentum is real. The Bible doesn't have the law of energy conservation. Everything is energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes form. But that principle is still real. The law of entropy is not the law of entropy is not stated in the Bible. This is the law of entropy, right? Okay, so understand the principles that show that and prove that are there. And if those laws are real laws and they really exist, they exist because God created them and he created everything from his word. So if they are real, we will be able to find evidence of their reality in scripture. Are y'all tracking? Okay, so law of attraction. So what am I saying? How the law of attraction really works is this. The law of attraction is really the law of, this is so good. Law of attraction is really the law of, I did it wrong. Let's go back. The law of attraction is really the law of at action. The law of attraction is really the law of at action. What do I mean? What I mean is when they say, think good thoughts and good things will happen to you and you'll manifest. Okay, here's what really happens. When I'm focused on the outcome I desire, and I'm expecting the outcome I desire, it energizes me to take action in the direction of that outcome. But when I have more belief in the expectation I don't desire than I do the expectation I do desire, it robs me of the energy to take the action, and so I don't move. And that's why worrying about something makes it happen. So if I can learn, and by the way, this is something I've learned and I'm still learning, if I can learn to only give energy to outcomes I desire, understanding that it has to be in alignment with what God has already spoken. If I only give energy to outcomes I desire, then what happens is that focus on that outcome I desire energizes me. I get a focus in my head. I'm focused on it in my head. I get a feeling in my heart. This is going to be great when this happens. This is going to be awesome when this happens. When I get done with this book, it's going to be a bestseller. Oh my goodness. When I talk to those prospects, oh, this is going to be the greatest business I've ever started. This is going to be the best year I've ever had. Why? Because I'm focused on the outcome I desire, and now I've got this energy. So what does that energy do? It energizes me to go and do the actions that are going to make those things happen. So it's not that good feelings attract things to you. It's that good feelings, like when you're expecting a favorable outcome, it activates you to take action in the direction of the thing that you desire. And then the thing shows up in your hand. Manifest. There's the word manifest, right? It shows up in your hand. It's not magical. It's not mystical. And I mean, people try to make it that, but I just told you how it worked. I would rather know how it works so I can work it, right? instead of just thinking hoping that it works and now it's working me, right? One of the most challenging things you will ever do, but one of the most important things you will ever do, is to only give energy to outcomes you desire and to act as if the only thing that's impossible for you is that something would be impossible. That's not easy to do. And I'm going to end on this. Here's why it's hard for people to expect positive outcomes. I'm going to say it like this. Here's why it's easier for people to expect unfavorable outcomes than it is for them to experience than it is for them to expect favorable outcomes. Because we know exactly what the unfavorable outcomes look like because we've experienced them so many times in the past. So what do? We take our past experiences, we project them on the screen of our future, we recreate the past and think we're living in the present. We take our past experiences. See, I know what it's like. I remember what it was like to run out of money and have my electricity and my water both disconnected at the same time with a wife that's 8 months pregnant. Ugh, that didn't feel good. I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to go apply for a job and another job and another job and everybody telling me no. I know what it's like to do presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation and everybody says no, yo bro, no. So bro, no bro. What part of no you having a hard time with? The end of the O is a 2-letter word, bro, no, right? I know what that feels like. And so now you get enough no's and now you think because everybody in the past told you no, you think everybody in the future is going to tell you no. And so what do? You don't take the action. Right? So we take our past experience. We know exactly what all of it feels like. We know what it all looks like because we've all been there. But let's say you have a desire to build a 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 figure business. And I know there's people who think that's a wrong desire. Do whatever works for you, my friend. Okay? So you have a desire to build a very successful business. You've never done it before. You have no idea what it looks like. Therefore, you have no idea what it feels like. What you've got to do is you've got to take some of those things some of those reasons that you desire to experience it. You've got to You got to close your eyes and experience them in your imagination so that your imagination energizes your heart. You say, Myron, this whole thing that you got, it's in the Bible. This right here, this is in the Bible. Go read Romans 6:17. What does it say? You've obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered to you. You've obeyed, that's the function in the hands. From where? From the heart, that's the feeling in your heart. The what? Form of doctrine, that's the focus in your head that was delivered to you. Jesus himself said, if you know these things, happy are you if you do them. I'm not making this stuff up, y'all. I ain't smart enough to make up stuff this good. It's just, fortunately for me and y'all, I'm a remedial reader, and when I read the Bible, I read it really, really slow because I can't read it fast. And so I see things that people who are reading it fast they miss. So here's what we want to do. Here's what we all should want to do. We should learn how to give energy. And when I say give energy, I'm not talking about some hocus pocus thing. Some people are, I don't like, why are you using the word energy? Because energy is life. It's like, it is what it is. Everything is energy, right? But what happens is you either have negative, like you're either focused on something that's causing you to manifest negative energy. And people talk about, but what about this whole thing about a vibration? Do you know what a vibration is in a human being? It's a feeling. That's what a vibration is. Like we've all said, I just didn't like their vibe. What does that mean? I don't like the feeling they gave me. Right? Like scientifically, vibrations, like vibrations attract. People try to make it mystical, some mystical hocus pocus, airy fairy thing, and it's very, very practical. Faith without work. As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Now here's the difference. That's a similarity and a dichotomy, because the similarity is that like a body that doesn't have a spirit can't do anything. It's dead, right? What is the spirit? The spirit is the energy that gives life to the body, right? But the works are not the energy that gives life to faith. They are just the demonstration of faith. They're how we can see that another person has faith. So the scripture's not teaching that Abraham was saved by works, even though it says you can see how by works was Abraham saved and not by faith alone. What's the key word? You can see it. I can't see Abraham's faith without his works. God can see the heart though. He can see the faith without the works. That's the difference. That's why Romans chapter 3 seems to say something different than James chapter 4. It's kind of like the people say, why does this guy talk about money all the time? It's in the Bible. And I don't need to be afraid of what it says. I don't need to be afraid of anything. Truth never has to be afraid of error. It never has to chase error away. It never has to silence error. Truth can abide in the same space at the same time as error. Error cannot abide in the same space at the same time as truth. It will either try to silence the truth, kill the truth, or eliminate, somehow get rid of the truth. And that's why we have cancel culture. Here's the problem. The problem is we're talking about stuff we believe, but we ain't walking about stuff we believe. Right? We're saying we believe things that we're doing nothing about. Here's what he said. Show me your faith without your works. That's called a challenge. You know why? Because you can't do it. I can't show you my faith without my works either. I hope this blesses you on a practical level. Here's what I'm going to challenge everybody in here to do. Every time God reveals a truth to you, you need to do in your life, do it now. God shows you that you need to ask for forgiveness from somebody you've offended, do it now. God shows you that you need to pay a bill that you've been ignoring, do it now. God shows you that somebody's attempted to apologize to you over and over and you refuse to forgive them now. Like every time you find something in scripture that is showing you to do, if you will do it now, here's what's going to happen. God's going to show you some more stuff that's going to make your life better. But if you keep ignoring the last stuff he showed you, he ain't fixing to show you nothing new. He said, you ain't even done what I told you last time. He probably didn't use that voice, but I use that voice to help you understand it better. Okay.